If you think back to sculpture 1, the way that you start to make your features is pretty similar. We just work on a larger scale since we are working at life size here. So to begin with, the eyes, we want to make sockets. So you'll find using your thumbs are best for this. You should be able to fit 5 eyes across on your sculpture. So I'm making a pretty large divot here as to where the eyes are going to go. See that I'm really pushing that all the way across the sculpture here, because from the side of the head and from the way that we see things from the front, we'll have that nice cheekbone coming in here that helps to push out the cheek. And I'm also starting to form a little bit of the brows just based on how I do the lids. And part of the cheeks right in here too. Okay, so making some nice divots and with your fingers will allow you to make, an eyeball and get it in there and have it, work well for the size that you're working on here. All right, always reference your picture. That's going to be your best route to go on this. But if you work at the same time on both sides, you can really make things pretty realistic and be pretty much the same, because you're putting in the same amount of pressure with both hands as you're making things. To make eyes, you'll take some clay. This is the same process that we did in sculpture 1. You'll roll out more of a oval type shape, and you might find it useful to think about how wide the head is. That'll help you determine how large to make your eye. Okay, you'll take that and you'll slice it in half. After you've cut it in half, you've got 2 that are the same. Now, even though these look like they're a little bit large, once I get them in place and I cover them over with eyelids, I think you'll see that they're just about the right size. I'm actually going to press in a little bit deeper with my eye sockets here, just so that way I've got some more space for the size eye that I'm putting in place here. So taking a tool that's round, you can press in. Now, it really depends too on how large your scale is, because you want to find a tool that's the right size. So I'm going to make sure that I'm kind of placing these at the right angle. Pressing that in. Pressing that in. Then I'm going to take another tool that's a little bit smaller to make my Since you're working on a larger scale, you could even add in, details of like imprints on the iris, things like that. I wouldn't go overboard on the amount of lines. Okay. And then you want to think about the expression that you have. Now, my expression is kind of like a real serious or stern kind of look. So the way that I put my eyelids in and the way that I work with the brow, that'll help to make that emotion be shown on the final sculpture here. So I'm taking a real thin coil and be placing this in, and I look at my picture to see how much of my eye is being covered. Put that in place. You start at the tear duct and you work your way around. Grab some more clay. This next one, you'll start by going at the tear duct and working your way across. And here, the way that you kind of finish off the eye is just to make sure that the right size is really take a close look at where you're putting that coil. It's one of the reasons why it's good to do this at the same time before you blend, is you can really make sure that the eyes are looking just the way that you want. And then from there, start to blend in on that eye. I'm just starting to look at my picture and trying to match things the best I can, adding a little more clay here and there based on how it looks. to really get that furrowed look for the eyebrows, because you can move up to the eyebrows right now if you want. I'm just adding a little more clay in that spot and trying to get that furrowed look.